The night stretches vast and endless over the desert, its silence as deep as the sea. The stars shimmer like ancient sigils carved across the heavens, and the air hums faintly, filled with heat long after the sun's departure. Beneath your feet, the sand still glows softly, each grain holding the memory of day. You stand at the threshold of a place unseen by mortal eyes, a desert that is not merely sand and wind, but a living expanse between worlds. And beside you, cloaked in shadow and starlight, stands the Wanderer. Their voice is calm, low, touched with the cadence of ages. "Traveler," they say, "we walk tonight where breath meets flame, where thought becomes form, and where the unseen stirs beneath every grain of sand. This is the land of the Djinn, the realm that remembers." A breeze stirs, carrying the faint scent of smoke, myrrh, and lightning. The dunes move with the wind, reshaping themselves with the ease of dreaming things. The horizon ripples, and you glimpse fleeting shapes there, tall figures of light and shadow walking without sound. When you blink, they are gone. "Do not fear them," the Wanderer murmurs. "They are older than your kind, born of the first sigh of creation, when the world still shimmered between light and dark. They dwell where the living seldom tread, not of flesh, not of spirit, but of the flame between." The sand beneath your feet shifts as if alive, whispering faintly. The sound is almost words, almost music. The desert breathes. You can feel it now. An ancient pulse rising through the ground, slow and steady as a sleeping heart. The Wanderer walks ahead, each step leaving no trace. You follow, guided by their motion, their cloak rippling in the wind that carries no cold. Long ago, they continue, their voice half echo, half dream. The Djinn roamed beside humankind. They were neither gods nor demons then, but kin, children of thought and fire, wandering the edges of creation. But the world changed. The silence between you grew deep, and now only the desert remembers you. Look out across the dunes, the horizon bending like molten glass under the stars. In the far distance, a shimmer appears, faint, golden, like heat on stone. The Wanderer raises a hand. "There," they whisper, "the gates of their realm. Few mortals have ever seen them open." Tonight, they await you. You begin to walk. The air grows thicker, heavier with unseen presence. Sparks of pale light rise from the sand like fireflies, hovering around you, humming softly. They flicker in and out, dancing along your path as though guiding your steps. At last, the dunes part. Before you stands an archway of stone and smoke, vast and silent, its surface carved with patterns that shift like the tide. The symbols glow faintly, each one breathing light in rhythm with your heartbeat. The wanderer's voice lowers to a reverent whisper. These are the gates of the Djinn. They were forged before the first empire rose, before the Nile carved its way to the sea. Beyond them lies a world untouched by time, a realm of memory, fire, and wind. A deep vibration passes through the sand, as though the desert itself draws breath. The gates shimmer and begin to open, soundlessly. From within, golden light spills forth, warm, beckoning, alive. The wanderer turns to you, their eyes reflecting that glow. Step forward, traveler. The veil parts for those who still remember wonder. You inhale once more, the scent of smoke and spice, of rain that never falls, and take your first step into the realm beyond. The light wraps around you, soft and endless, swallowing the world of men behind you. Come, traveler. The gates of the land of the Djinn await. The air changes the moment you pass through the gates. It hums, low, steady, alive. Heat brushes against your skin, not burning, but pulsing softly like the warmth of a living breath. Around you, the night expands into a sky the color of molten copper. Stars here are not distant. They drift low, suspended like lanterns between veils of cloud and smoke. The sand beneath your feet has turned to crystal. Each step rings faintly, like the chime of distant bells. When you look closer, you see movement beneath the glass. Faint, golden streams flowing beneath the surface, as though rivers of fire run deep below the land. The wanderer moves ahead of you, their steps light, their cloak glimmering faintly in the glow. This is the threshold, they say softly. The place where thought becomes shape. The Djinn do not build as mortals build. They remember their cities into being, You walk forward, and as the horizon unfolds, you see it. A vast city rising from the dunes, its spires carved from translucent stone that burns with its own inner light. The buildings shift subtly as you watch, towers bending, windows breathing, bridges weaving themselves from dust and reassembling in mid-air. It is a city alive, both solid and fluid, flame and crystal intertwined. You feel your breath catch. The wanderer watches you quietly, the faintest trace of a smile on their lips. This is the city of glass and flame, the first home of the Djinn. Every whisper that ever crossed the desert winds has passed through its walls. It is said that even the stars pause to listen here. As you step closer, the ground glows faintly beneath your feet. The glass underfoot grows clearer, revealing shapes moving beneath, swirling plumes of light, like spirits in constant motion. They rise sometimes, touching the air before fading again into the deep. Those are the Ifritim, the wanderer murmurs. Old ones, keepers of memory and fire. They dream within the heart of this city, and their dreams shape what you see. You reach the first gate, not of metal nor stone, but of pure flame held in place by unseen force. It burns without heat, its color shifting between gold and deep indigo. You hesitate, but the wanderer steps through without pause, and the fire parts like a curtain. You follow, and the flame passes through you, leaving behind a warmth that settles in your chest like calm sunlight. Inside, the city hums with quiet energy. The streets glow faintly, veins of light tracing along the ground and up through the walls. No sound of footsteps echoes here, only a gentle resonance, like the faint vibration of a string. Figures move within the light. Djinn, tall, graceful, their bodies formed of shifting flame, smoke, and light. Some walk in silence, others drift like mist, their eyes glowing faintly beneath golden brows. As you pass, some incline their heads, a gesture of recognition, not curiosity. The wanderer lowers their voice. They see not your flesh, traveler, but the spark within you, the part that still remembers the first fire of creation. It is that memory which grants you passage here. You follow a wide avenue lined with towering arches. From each hangs a lantern made not of glass, but of captured starlight. The air hums faintly around them, each pulse a note in some grand, invisible song. The sound is soothing, melodic. You feel your heartbeat align with it without effort. At the avenue's end rises a vast structure, a palace of mirrored flame. Its surface ripples with light, reflecting not what stands before it, but moments that once were. You see flashes within its glow, deserts in bloom, storms birthing lightning, cities of gold crumbling into sand. This, the wanderer says softly, is the Hall of Dawn, the first seat of the Djinn Queen, who shaped the winds of the world. She no longer rules here, but her breath still lingers in every flame. The gates open soundlessly as you approach. Inside, the air is cool and heavy with scent. Spices, amber, and smoke. The hall stretches vast, lit by floating globes of light that drift like moons across its ceiling. At its center burns a great brazier, its fire rising in slow spirals, blue at its core, gold at its edge. The wanderer gestures for you to approach. The city breathes through this flame, they whisper. Every thought, every memory, every story of the Djinn begins here. Stand close and listen. You do. At first, there is only the crackle of the fire. Then, beneath it, a sound, a whisper, soft as wind over dunes. Then another, and another, until the air fills with layered voices, speaking in a language older than sound. The fire brightens. Within it, shapes begin to move, scenes forming in flame. You see Djinn of fire and smoke forging the first stars in their palms. You see rivers of molten light carving the paths of the heavens. You see humans walking beside them, their faces calm, their eyes filled with wonder. The wanderer speaks quietly beside you. Once, there was no boundary between worlds. The Djinn and humankind walked together, the dreamers and the maid. But time, as always, drew its line. Fear closed the gate, and silence filled the space between. The fire dims slightly, the images fading. Now only the desert remembers. They finish. You feel the truth of it in the stillness that follows. An ache, ancient and familiar, as if you have returned to a place once known, long forgotten. From the shadows beyond the brazier, a new presence stirs. Faint, shimmering, vast. The air ripples as if under heat, and a voice, clear and resonant, fills the hall. You walk with the wanderer, it says, the tone neither male nor female, but both, a harmony of flame. And you carry memory not your own. Why have you come? The wanderer answers simply, bowing their head. To remember, as we once did, without fear. A pause follows. Then, slowly, the flame flares, not in anger, but acknowledgement. Then listen well, traveler. The desert is not empty, and its fire is not mere light. Every spark remembers the moment before the first dawn. Walk with care, for each step will echo. The brazier's flame calms once more, shrinking into a steady, steady glow. The presence fades, leaving behind warmth and silence. The wanderer turns to you, their eyes lit by reflected gold. "You have been seen," they whisper. "Few ever are." The city now knows your name, not the one spoken by men, but the one you have forgotten. Keep it safe. You will need it before the journey ends. Outside, the hum of the city deepens, resonating through the glass streets like heartbeat through living stone. The air seems fuller now, awake, aware. The wanderer leads you back through the gates of flame, and the cool desert night greets you once more. Behind you, the city of glass and flame shimmers, then slowly fades into mirage, leaving only the faint scent of smoke and myrrh upon the wind. "Come," the wanderer says softly. The desert stirs. The Djinn whisper of a place where all their stories converge. The river of echoes. That is where we go next. And so you walk onward through the breathing dunes, the stars above shifting slowly in their silent dance, while behind you the memory of fire lingers, calm and eternal. The desert stretches before you, vast and silver beneath a sky that never quite sleeps. Each dune glows faintly with its own light, as though the stars above have found their reflections below. The air is cooler here, calmer, carrying the scent of salt and stone, a promise of something unseen yet near. The wanderer walks ahead, their steps leaving faint traces that fade as soon as they form. "Listen closely," they whisper, voice low, soft as the wind itself. "Do you hear it?" At first, you hear only silence. Then faintly, a sound rises from the horizon, a slow, rhythmic pulse, not quite water, not quite song. It grows with every step you take, resonating deep within your chest, until the air itself seems to breathe with it. "That is the river of echoes," the wanderer says. "It does not flow with water, but with memory. Every word, every whisper ever carried by the desert wind comes here to rest." The ground changes beneath your feet, from sand to something smooth, cool, and faintly translucent. The dunes fall away into a wide basin, and there before you lies the river. It glows softly, a current of shimmering mist winding through the land like liquid moonlight. It moves slowly, as though each ripple is a sigh, each current a thought. When you draw near, The air hums louder, and your reflection shimmers upon its surface. Not as you are, but as you once were, perhaps, or might yet be. The wanderer kneels beside the bank, their cloak brushing the mist. Here, they say quietly, is where the Djinn come to remember their beginnings. Every soul born of flame leaves an echo behind, and the river keeps it. It is their mirror, and ours. You crouch beside them, peering into the flowing light. Beneath the surface, shapes move, faces formed of smoke and starlight, turning slowly as if dreaming. Some look serene, others troubled. Their eyes flicker open and closed, each blink a shimmer of light across the current. A faint whisper rises from below. Remember. You draw back slightly. The word was not spoken aloud, yet it vibrated through your bones, familiar and distant all at once. The wanderer watches you closely. It has heard you, they murmur. The river listens to those who still carry stories untold. Do not fear it. Speak, and it will answer. You hesitate, then ask softly, "What should I say?" "Not what you know," the wanderer replies, "but what you have forgotten. Speak your heart, and the river will show you what sleeps beneath it." You take a breath. The air is cool, still, alive. You close your eyes and let your thoughts drift. Beneath your words, something older stirs, a yearning without shape. When you speak, your voice is barely a whisper. "I remember fire." The river responds instantly. The mist swells, glowing brighter, and images rise upon its surface, fleeting, luminous. You see flashes of a place not unlike this one, a night filled with silver wind and singing sands. You see figures of flame walking side by side with humans, sharing light from their palms. You see laughter, song, unity, and then silence. The images fade, swallowed again by the current. The wanderer's eyes glint softly. "Yes," they say. "That is the oldest truth of all. Before fear, before division, fire was shared, not owned." The Djinn remember. You remembered with them. The river hums again, a deeper tone this time. Across its surface, the light bends, and a new shape begins to form. A figure rises from the mist, tall, graceful, made of shifting light and shadow. Its face is unreadable, its eyes two faint stars burning within the fog. When it speaks, its voice echoes not in your ears, but within your chest. "Traveler," it says, "why do you seek the land of the Djinn?" The wanderer answers for you, their tone calm. "To remember the balance that once was, between fire and breath, between dream and waking. The figure's head inclines slightly, its form rippling like smoke in wind. Then you must understand what was lost. The river holds not only memory, but sorrow. It keeps the echoes of every word never spoken, every truth buried by silence. Will you hear them? You nod. The figure reaches out. Its hand, if it can be called that, brushes the river's surface and the world changes. Sound fills the air. Countless voices layered upon each other, some crying, some laughing, some merely breathing. They weave together into a rhythm that is not chaotic but ancient, like wind over dunes. Within that sound, words take shape. We were flame. We were thought. We were the first dream. And in fear, we were forgotten. The light around you trembles. The vision shifts. You see mortals kindling fire in their hands for the first time, unaware that the flame itself watches them, alive. You see the Djinn withdrawing into the desert, unseen, unremembered, carrying with them not anger, but quiet longing. You feel it, the ache of being forgotten by those who once shared your breath. Then, silence. The vision fades, leaving only the soft pulse of the river once more. The figure stands motionless. Its form flickers, then steadies. The desert remembers for those who cannot. You, traveler, walk with memory still living in your heart. Guard it well. You will need it when the path turns dark. It lowers its hand. The current slows. The mist settles back into quiet motion. The wanderer bows slightly. We thank you, they say. The figure inclines its head once more before fading into the river's depths. For a moment, only the soft hum remains. Then even that grows still. You remain kneeling, the light of the current reflecting in your eyes. The wanderer places a hand on your shoulder. Light, grounding. You have listened, traveler, they whisper. And the river has listened in return. That is all it ever asks. You rise. The river glows faintly one last time, then dims, its light flowing onward into the dark. You watch until the last ripple fades. The wanderer turns toward the open dunes. Come, they say gently. The echo has led us as far as it can. Beyond these sands lies the palace of memory, where the Djinn keep the dreams they dare not lose. The path ahead is faint, yet it shines with soft white light, as though the river itself has drawn a road across the sand. You follow the wanderer, your steps soundless, your breath calm. Behind you, the river of echoes flows on, murmuring softly to itself, carrying the voices of fire and wind through the endless night. The desert quiets again. The last shimmer of the river fades behind you, leaving only the soft glow of its mist upon the horizon. Ahead, the dunes flatten into smooth plains of white sand, their edges sharp as glass in the starlight. The wanderer walks beside you, their cloak trailing softly across the surface, leaving no trace. The Djinn remember in flame, they say quietly. But there are some memories too heavy even for fire. Those are kept here, where silence is older than sound. The air grows cooler as you walk. The scent of smoke gives way to stone, to something faintly metallic, like the breath before rain. Then, far ahead, you see it, rising from the sands like a mirage, a structure vast and luminous, half ruin, half living thing. The Palace of Memory. Its towers seem carved from light itself, pale gold at their base, deepening to amber as they rise. The walls ripple faintly, as though they breathe, and faint currents of wind trace across their surface like moving script. Every gust carries a whisper, a fragment of a story, some in languages long gone, some too soft to hear. You stop before its gates, and even the stars seem to dim, as though pausing in respect. The wanderer rests their hand upon the air before the entrance. These doors do not open with command, they murmur, only with remembrance. You feel them gesture toward you. Close your eyes, traveler. Think of a memory, not a grand one, but a quiet one. Something that once made you feel alive. You obey. You remember. Perhaps a dawn once seen through rain, or a name spoken softly in passing. It rises unbidden, fragile and real. And when you open your eyes again, the gates have parted soundlessly, revealing a corridor of soft, golden light. The wanderer inclines their head. It remembers you now. Inside, silence reigns. The air is still, but not empty. It hums faintly with the pulse of unseen hearts. The floor is translucent, lit from beneath by slow-moving currents of light. Along the walls drift shapes, faint outlines of beings, each wrapped in mist. They move as if in thought or prayer. These are the keepers, the wanderer whispers. Djinn who chose to become memory itself. They hold what would otherwise fade. One turns toward you as you pass. Their form is luminous but indistinct, a soft silhouette of light. Though they have no face, you feel their gaze. A calm presence fills the air around them, and in it, something else. Gratitude. They know you carry remembrance, the wanderer murmurs. They can feel its warmth. You walk deeper. The corridor opens into a great hall, vast enough to hold the night itself. Pillars rise like frozen beams of sunlight, their surfaces carved with countless names, each glowing faintly. Between them, golden motes drift through the air, memories made visible, weightless and wandering. The wanderer gestures toward them. Every light you see here is a story once lived, a song, a heartbeat, a single breath of meaning. The Djinn gather them so that nothing truly vanishes, not even what the world forgets. You pause, watching one of the lights drift close. It hovers before you, pulsing gently. Within it, an image flickers. A child laughing beneath desert rain. A fire burning beneath an open sky. A voice singing to the dawn. The moment lasts only a heartbeat. Then the light drifts upward again, absorbed once more into the hall. Why show me this? You ask softly. Because you must understand, the wanderer replies, that the Djinn do not live for eternity as mortals think of it. They remember for eternity. Their existence is not measured in years, but in stories kept alive. The hall deepens, narrowing toward a single archway at its far end. Beyond it lies a smaller chamber, circular, enclosed by walls of mirrored glass. At its center burns a flame the color of dawn. Around it stand 7 figures, unmoving, cloaked in pale fire. The wanderer lowers their head. These are the 7 rememberers, the first of the Djinn who chose silence over fading. They watch the flame, for within it burns the memory of creation itself. The figures stir faintly as you approach. Their presence is not heavy, but infinite. A stillness so complete it feels alive. The flame in the center ripples, growing taller. Within it, you glimpse shifting shapes, mountains rising, rivers flowing backward, stars being born. Then, just as quickly, it stills again. A voice, neither young nor old, fills the chamber. "Traveler," it says. You walk where even time hesitates. The fire you see is the first breath, the spark that gave form to both Djinn and humankind. It remembers what all others have forgotten, that we are made not from power, but from longing. You feel the truth of those words settle deep within you, quiet and sure. The wanderer stands still beside you. The longing to be and to be remembered, they murmur. That is the heart of every world. The voice continues, softer now. The flame recognizes you, traveler. You carry its echo. When you leave this place, take a single spark, not to keep, but to share. From the central fire, a single ember drifts toward you. Small, golden, weightless. It hovers before your hand, then settles upon your palm without burning. Its warmth is gentle, steady. Carry it to the winds beyond, says the voice. Let the forgotten find their names again. You close your fingers around it. The light does not dim. The wanderer bows deeply, and you follow their motion. We are honored, they whisper. The flame pulses once more, as if in reply. Then the 7 figures fade slowly, their shapes dissolving into motes of gold. The hall darkens to its steady glow again, serene, eternal. The wanderer turns to you, voice quiet. You now hold the ember of remembrance. It will guide you to the next realm, where the Djinn's memory ends and truth begins. As you leave the chamber, the golden light of the palace follows you like a calm tide. The air outside feels lighter, touched by cool wind. When you glance back, the palace of memory shimmers faintly, its towers dissolving into the night. The wanderer speaks one last time before the dunes reclaim the horizon. All memory is flame, traveler, but flame must breathe. Ahead lies the Cavern of Winds, where breath gives voice to the forgotten. There, the ember will speak. The sands rise before you again, silver and endless. The ember in your palm glows softly, matching your heartbeat. You walk on, And behind you, far within the dunes, the palace of memory exhales a quiet sigh, the sound of stories resting, not ending. The desert opens like a breath drawn in reverse. The sands part beneath your feet, revealing a hollow wound in the earth. From it rises a slow, pulsing current, cool, fragrant, and alive. The wind carries the faint scent of stone polished smooth by time, and underneath it, something subtler, the sweetness of forgotten rain. The wanderer stands at the edge of the chasm, their cloak whispering against the air. Here, they say softly, is where the desert exhales. The winds you hear are not born of storms, but of voices. Every sigh that ever rose from longing, every prayer that never reached the heavens, found its way here, to the Cavern of Winds. You peer into the opening. Faint light flickers below. Not flame, but motion. The cavern breathes, its rhythm slow and steady. When the wanderer begins their descent, you follow, the soft sand shifting silently behind you. The passage winds downward in wide spirals. The air cools with every step. The sound of the wind grows louder, filling the tunnels with tones that change as you move. Low and deep near the walls, high and fragile near the ceiling. It is not random. It is a melody without source, woven from breath and stone. The wanderer glances back. The Djinn say this cavern is the throat of the world. Its voice carries their memory to the stars. You reach the floor at last, a vast hollow space filled with slow-moving air that glows faintly blue. Columns of wind spiral from the ground like invisible trees, their movement visible only where grains of sand dance within them. The noise is constant, but not harsh. An endless chorus of whispers and sighs, layered so deeply, it becomes one endless note. At the center of the chamber stands a great pillar of glass. It rises from the earth like frozen lightning, cracked yet unbroken. The air around it vibrates with low resonance, as though the world hums in time with it. The wanderer nods toward it. That is the heart of air. It gathers the breath of all that ever lived, mortal, divine, and forgotten. The Djinn guard it, though few dare to approach. To touch it is to hear what the world hides. You step closer. The closer you come, the louder the whispering becomes. Individual words emerge from the noise, fragments of thoughts, cries, laughter, all carried by wind and time. You reach out instinctively, the ember of memory still glowing faintly in your hand. The light of the ember reflects within the pillar's cracks, and the cavern stills. Every current of air halts as if holding its breath. Then, a single voice rises from the silence, soft, clear, and vast. "Traveler," it says, "you carry the flame that remembers. You have walked among what was spoken, and now you stand among what was breathed. Do you understand the difference?" You look toward the wanderer. Their gaze meets yours, calm and steady. "Words shape," they murmur, "but breath gives them life. To remember is one thing. To let what was lost speak again, that is another." The wind stirs once more, slow and rhythmic. The voice continues, its tone not commanding, but ancient and tired. "Long ago, when the first Djinn awoke, we were breath before fire. The Creator's sigh gave us form, not as rulers, but as witnesses. Our charge was to carry sound through silence, to be the motion between stillness and storm. The air vibrates, and for a moment, you see shapes within the wind, vast beings made of motion alone, their bodies invisible except for the dust they lift. They dance in spirals around the pillar, graceful and endless. The voice softens. "But mortals forgot that all things that live must breathe. They learned to speak without listening, to name without hearing. And so, our covenant was broken. The winds lost their purpose. The wanderer lowers their head. That is why we came, they whisper. To remember balance and to restore voice to silence. The pillar brightens, its cracks glowing with pale gold light. The voice shifts closer, now surrounding you. Then let the breath return. You open your hand. The ember of memory flares, warm, steady, calm. The winds respond, curling around it like threads drawn to light. They begin to move faster, weaving patterns through the air, circles upon circles, until they merge into a spiral that reaches toward the ceiling. The wanderer lifts their arms, cloak stirring. Do not fear it, they say softly. The cavern is waking. The sound deepens, no longer whispering, but singing. The air moves in rhythmic pulses, rising and falling like a slow heartbeat. You feel the vibration through your chest, your breath aligning with it. The ember rises from your palm, hovering in the air, its light spreading outward. When it touches the pillar, the entire cavern shudders. The wind explodes outward, not with violence, but release. 1,000 voices surge at once. Laughter, cries, songs, then blend into one sustained tone that fills every corner of the space. It is not loud. It is vast. You close your eyes. For a moment, you are certain you can understand it. Not as language, but as knowing. The air itself seems to say, all things breathe. All things remember. When you open your eyes again, the light has softened. The pillar's cracks glow faintly, whole once more. The winds have calmed to a gentle hum. The ember has vanished, its essence absorbed into the breath of the world. The wanderer exhales slowly. It is done. The breath has joined the flame. Memory now moves again, not as weight, but as song. The cavern seems lighter, warmer. The air smells faintly of new rain and smoke. You realize the sound that remains is no longer chaotic. It has rhythm, purpose, a harmony of wind, whisper, and silence. The wanderer places a hand on your shoulder. You have given back what was lost. Now the desert will speak again, and the Djinn will listen. You turn toward the passage that leads upward. A faint breeze moves past you, carrying with it voices too soft to distinguish. Perhaps blessings, perhaps farewells. As you climb back toward the surface, the air grows still once more. The stars greet you above, bright and endless. The sand beneath your feet feels warm again, alive. The wanderer looks toward the horizon. Beyond this place, they say quietly, lies the Vale of Shadows, where the Djinn hide what even memory cannot bear. There we will find the one who waits. The wind rises gently, brushing your face like a hand in passing. It carries the faintest whisper, not words, but feeling. gratitude. You breathe deeply, letting the desert's pulse fill your chest. And when you exhale, it feels as though the world exhales with you. Together, you and the wanderer step forward into silence, into light, into the next chapter of the Djinn's eternal dream. The night deepens as you walk. The dunes grow taller, their edges sharp beneath the cold moon. The wind no longer hums with the warmth of memory. It moves now in long, measured sighs, like breath drawn through stone. Even the stars seem quieter, their light softened as though seen through smoke. The wanderer's voice breaks the stillness, calm but distant. This is the edge of the known desert. Beyond lies the Vale of Shadows, the resting place of all that even the Djinn cannot bear to remember. They do not come here unless summoned by necessity. We enter not as seekers of power, but as witnesses of truth. You follow them down a slope where the sand shifts to ash-gray powder, cool underfoot. The air tastes faintly metallic, like the echo of lightning long gone. Each step feels heavier, not with weight, but with presence, as though the ground itself remembers the countless souls that have passed this way. The dunes flatten suddenly, and the world opens into a vast hollow plain. The sand here no longer glows but absorbs light, dimming everything it touches. Yet in that dimness, forms begin to emerge. Tall monoliths of black glass scattered across the vale like frozen shadows. Their surfaces ripple faintly, and as you draw closer, you see why. Each one holds a reflection. Not your body, but your sorrow. You see flickers of moments, things lost, faces gone, words never spoken. Each memory is faint, a thread of light woven into the darkness. You feel their pull, the quiet ache of recognition. The wanderer stops beside one of the monoliths. Their own reflection flickers within it. Not the calm figure who walks beside you now, but something older, heavier. They study it without emotion, then turn to you. The veil shows not what we have forgotten, they say softly, but what we have buried. The Djinn call it the place of shadows because even flame cannot burn here. Only silence holds you. You step closer to one of the monoliths. Within its dark surface, a faint shimmer takes form. A moment from your own life, perhaps, or something older still. A hand reaching, a name whispered into the dark. The reflection wavers, and you feel the familiar ache that accompanies remembrance. Touch it if you must, says the wanderer, but remember, it will not harm you. Shadows cannot hurt what faces them. You reach forward. The surface is cold, smooth as glass but alive beneath your palm. The reflection steadies. The image deepens, showing not grief, but understanding. Sorrow seen clearly is no longer endless. The monolith warms under your touch, faint light spreading through the cracks. When you step back, the reflection fades, leaving only stillness behind. The wanderer nods once. You have seen it as it truly is. Not a wound, but a weight that can be carried. A breeze moves through the Vale, carrying a sound. Low, resonant, almost a hum. The monoliths begin to vibrate softly, their reflections blurring. Out of the haze, faint shapes appear. Figures made of pale smoke and dim gold. Djinn, but changed. Their forms are frayed at the edges, their light subdued. They are the shades of flame, the wanderer whispers. The remnants of those who could not release what memory showed them. They guard this place, not as jailers, but as mourners. The shades drift closer, their movements slow and weightless. One pauses before you. Its voice, when it speaks, is no louder than wind through reeds. Traveler, it murmurs, you carry both fire and breath. Do you seek release or remembrance? You glance toward the wanderer. Their expression is solemn. Answer truthfully, they say. For in this place, lies bind more tightly than chains. You take a slow breath. The air feels thick here, heavy with quiet truth. Remembrance, you say. To see clearly, not to escape. The shade tilts its head, a faint ripple passing through its form. Then walk freely, it says. The Vale will not claim those who look with open eyes. It fades into mist once more, and with it, the others begin to disperse. flowing back into the black monoliths like sighs returning to silence. You and the wanderer stand alone again. The air grows lighter, though still cool, still solemn. The monoliths no longer reflect pain, only faint light, like moonlight caught in deep water. The wanderer breaks the silence. This place once frightened even the eldest Djinn. They believed that to confront sorrow was to extinguish the flame. But now you have seen what they could not, that even grief holds memory, and a memory holds light. They kneel briefly, pressing a hand to the sand. The ground hums faintly beneath the gesture. The shadows remember your step now. They will not rise against you again. A faint glow appears on the far horizon. Not the sun, but a low, steady radiance that shifts like a heartbeat. The wanderer rises. That is our next passage, the Bridge of Dawn, where darkness learns to yield. The shades say it appears only to those who have seen their own reflection and not turned away. You begin to walk toward that distant glow. Behind you, the Vale is silent once more, its monoliths standing still and dark. Yet you feel no fear, no sadness, only calm, the quiet weight of truths accepted. As you reach the edge of the plain, the wind returns, faint and steady. It carries with it a sound not heard before, not whispering, not sighing, but something like distant laughter. Soft, human, and free. The wanderer smiles faintly, the first you have seen. The shadows are lighter now, they say. The desert breathes again. You turn back one last time. The veil of shadows shimmers faintly beneath the starlight, not empty, not dark, but whole. A place not of endings, but of rest. When you face forward again, the glow of the horizon is brighter, clearer, pulsing in rhythm with your own heart. The wanderer's cloak stirs gently beside you. Come, traveler, they whisper. The bridge awaits. And together, you walk toward that growing light, step by quiet step, leaving your shadows behind. horizon glows faintly, neither day nor night. The sands here shimmer pale gold, each grain reflecting light from no visible sun. The air is still, carrying the scent of warmth itself. Not fire, but the quiet promise of it. The wanderer halts at the edge of a vast gulf that splits the desert in two. It is not a canyon of stone, but of light. Far below, a sea of radiance moves like liquid sunrise, slow and endless. And stretching across it, a bridge. It arches in silence, formed of translucent crystal, its surface veined with living flame that flows beneath its skin. Each step upon it would echo softly, like the chime of wind through glass. The wanderer's eyes narrow, reflecting the bridge's glow. "This is the Bridge of Dawn," they say. It is older than the Djinn, older than memory itself. It is the path between what has been forgiven and what remains. You step closer. The light below shifts in color. Gold, amber, rose, and from its depths you hear faint voices, not speaking but humming, countless tones woven together. The sound is not sorrowful. It is renewal, the song of endings that become beginnings. "The Vale has shown you shadow," the wanderer continues. "But here, you must learn to cross without carrying it. The bridge will not bear the weight of what you still cling to." They glance toward you. Do you trust the path? You look down at your reflection upon the crystal, faint, wavering, surrounded by firelight. The question is not of courage, but of release. You nod once. The wanderer steps first. The crystal hums beneath their foot, a single tone rising clear and soft. You follow. Each step you take joins the tone, until the bridge itself sings, low and steady, a harmony of movement and breath. The gulf below stretches infinitely. The sea of light ripples as though aware of your passage. Each wave carries images that form and dissolve, faces, moments, fragments of memory. You see the city of glass and flame, the river of echoes, the palace where memories were kept. All shimmer within the depths like reflections on water. "They watch you," murmurs the wanderer, "not as ghosts, but as witnesses." The bridge remembers every traveler who has crossed it. You add your note to the song of passage. Halfway across, the glow ahead brightens. The bridge narrows, its edges softening like melting glass. The hum deepens, almost resonant enough to shake your bones. You pause, feeling the warmth rise through your feet. The wanderer's voice is calm, but firm. This is the heart of the bridge, where it tests what you hold. Speak, traveler. What remains in you that you have not yet released? You close your eyes. The warmth around you intensifies, not burning, but pressing gently, as if waiting for truth. You search within the silence of your thoughts. Perhaps you recall a name unspoken, a loss never faced, a wish that clings to the edges of your heart. The words come quietly, carried on your breath. Fear, you whisper, that what I carry will fade when I wake. The wanderer studies you for a moment. The Djinn call that the final illusion, the belief that what is remembered must be kept to endure. The truth, traveler, is simpler. What is given back cannot be lost. They reach toward the light beneath the bridge and draw from it a single spark, small as a droplet of morning dew. It hovers between you, pulsing gently. This, they say, is the heart of dawn. Every soul that crosses must offer a spark to it, something to be released, so the path may hold. You extend your hand. The spark brightens, absorbing your unspoken fear. It glows once, brilliant, then sinks slowly into the crystal beneath your feet. The bridge responds, the hum rising to a clear, resonant note that fills the air like birdsong made of light. The wanderer nods once, satisfied. The path accepts you. Come, traveler. The dawn awaits. The remaining walk feels lighter, each step effortless, as if the air itself carries you forward. The sea of light below grows brighter until it blurs into white. The crystal beneath you softens, losing form. At last, you step onto the far side, and the bridge behind you fades into mist, leaving only the sound of its song echoing faintly in the distance. The land before you is unlike the desert you left. The dunes have turned to smooth plains of pale stone, veined with glowing threads of gold. A faint breeze moves across them, cool and gentle. In the sky above, the first hints of false dawn stretch thinly, washing the stars with silver. The wanderer turns to you. You have crossed where few have crossed. The shadow behind no longer clings to your steps. What lies ahead will be clearer for it. They pause, gaze softening. The Djinn speak of a being who guards this threshold. Neither flame nor wind, but balance itself. It watches the bridge, ensuring that none pass who still bear the weight of untruth. As if in answer, a figure appears ahead, tall, luminous, its body composed of slow-moving light. Its face is neither human nor Djinn, but something in between, shaped by equilibrium. Its voice is calm and deep, carrying the stillness of both dusk and dawn. Traveler, it says, you have walked through memory and shadow and crossed the light unbroken. What do you seek now? The wanderer bows their head. To find the heart of their realm, the flame that breathes in the breath that burns. To learn what lies at the center of all remembering. The being's eyes, if they can be called that, shimmer faintly. Then you must pass through the hall of balance, where flame and wind meet as one. Beyond that lies the final mirage, the truth even the Djinn dare not name. It turns, and with a motion like exhalation, the path ahead unfolds. A road of white stone that gleams softly under the newborn light. The figure fades, leaving only a whisper. Walk gently. The desert listens. You look toward the path. The horizon has shifted. Faint clouds gather where once there was only sky. The wanderer gestures forward, a small smile ghosting across their lips. We are close now, traveler. Every step from here moves inward, to the quiet heart of all things. You follow. The sands are still, the world at peace. The dawn grows brighter, though no sun rises yet. Behind you, unseen, the bridge of dawn hums one final note. Pure, endless, serene, before vanishing into light. The road narrows as you walk, winding between low ridges of white rock that shimmer faintly under the soft light of the waking sky. The air feels different here, weightless, almost sacred, as though the very act of breathing must be done with care. The wanderer glances toward you. You are crossing now from the outer desert into the heart of the realm. Here, neither flame nor wind reigns alone. This is the meeting place of both, the still point between creation and destruction. The Djinn call it Ma'arif al-Samt, the Hall of Balance. You see it then, rising from the plains like a mirage made of calm light. The structure is vast, its walls curved and fluid, built not of stone nor glass, but of air hardened by sound. Each breath of wind leaves faint ripples along its surface, as if the entire hall were made of motion held still. You and the wanderer step closer. The closer you come, the quieter the world becomes, until even the faint hum of the bridge behind you fades completely. You can hear nothing, not your heartbeat, not your breath, only the silence itself, heavy and whole. The wanderer pauses before the entrance. Two tall archways shaped from flowing current and slow flame intertwined. This is the last harmony before the mirage, they whisper. Once we enter, what is divided within must meet. or be lost. You nod. Together, you pass through. Inside, the air shimmers with equilibrium. Light bends and straightens with every movement. The floor beneath you is smooth as glass, but when you look closer, you see it pulsing faintly with twin currents, one of fire, one of wind, moving opposite and equal. The very hall breathes balance. Along the walls float orbs of light, each revolving slowly within its own current of air. Their glow shifts constantly, gold to blue, blue to white, never fixed, never still. The faint vibration in the air hums just below hearing, and though no sound reaches your ears, your chest vibrates in rhythm. The wanderer walks forward with measured steps. This hall was built at the dawn of both worlds, they murmur. It was said to be the place where the first Djinn learned to temper fire with breath, to wield creation without consuming it. Every flame since remembers this equilibrium, even those burning within mortal hearts. As you move deeper into the chamber, faint figures begin to appear, tall shapes of translucent light, each balanced perfectly between flame and air. Some carry bowls of wind, others hold embers cupped in their hands. They move slowly, deliberately, tracing circles into the air that shimmer briefly, then fade. These are the custodians of stillness, the wanderer explains. They keep the world in motion by guarding its rest. One of the figures turns toward you, its face neither seen nor hidden, a blur of heat and breeze. Its voice is not spoken, but felt, a vibration across your skin. Traveler, it says, you have carried flame through darkness and given breath to silence. Why have you come to the place where both are equal? You glance toward the wanderer, who inclines their head slightly. Answer, they say quietly. Balance listens only to truth. You breathe deeply. The air tastes like rain upon warm stone. To understand, you say. To see what connects what we remember and what we forget. The custodian's head tilts, the air around it rippling faintly. Understanding is not born from knowing, it replies, but from stillness. You cannot hold the flame and the wind at once unless you become the space between. It gestures toward the center of the hall. Step there, traveler. Let the balance see you. The wanderer's voice lowers. You will not be harmed, they say. But you must not resist what you feel. You walk to the center. Beneath your feet, the floor begins to glow. Two streams of light swirling beneath the surface. One golden, one pale blue. They spiral upward around you, wrapping you in gentle motion. The air warms, then cools, alternating with every breath. Do you feel it? The custodian's voice echoes, faint but steady. The pulse of creation. Inhale, exhale, flame, wind. The desert itself breathes thus. And so do you. The currents tighten, swirling faster. You feel your thoughts slow, your heart steady. The warmth of the flame no longer burns. The cool of the wind no longer chills. They merge, indistinguishable. The wanderer stands at the edge of the circle, watching. Their cloak stirs though the air around them is still. This is the balance that the Djinn lost, they murmur, when flame rose higher than breath. They forgot that to burn without pause is to vanish, but to breathe without fire is to fade. The golden and blue lights merge now into white. The air around you grows utterly still, so still it feels alive. For a heartbeat, the world seems to pause. The silence deepens until you hear not absence, but everything. 1,000 faint murmurs woven together, harmonized. Then the voice returns, softer than before. You have remembered, it says. You are neither fire nor wind, but the meeting of both. Walk now as balance walks, not to master, but to mirror. The light dissolves. The currents slow, sinking back into the floor. You exhale, the motion breaking the stillness, and the hall seems to breathe with you, as though acknowledging your return. The custodians bow faintly, then fade into the shimmer of air, leaving only a quiet hum behind. The wanderer steps forward, their expression calm. You have crossed the threshold, they say. What lies beyond this hall is not a place, but a truth, the final mirage. It reveals what remains when both flame and breath have nothing left to give. They turn toward the far end of the hall, where a single archway of shifting light has appeared. Through it, you glimpse a horizon unlike any you've seen. Neither desert nor sky, but something fluid, shimmering, alive. The wanderer looks back at you. Few reach it, they whisper. Fewer still return. But you have walked gently, and the desert remembers your step. Whatever you see beyond that gate, know that it shows not the end, but the reflection of all that is. You stand beside them for a long moment. The air around you hums softly, neither hot nor cold. The balance holds. Then you walk together toward the light. With each step, the hall grows fainter, dissolving into wind and warmth until it is gone. Beyond the archway, the desert glows white, endless, formless. It waits like a breath drawn but not yet released. The wanderer's voice reaches you one last time before you cross the threshold. "Come, traveler," they whisper, the echo soft as dawn. The final mirage awaits. The air beyond the archway has no temperature, no scent, no sound. It feels like stepping into thought itself, a space untouched by time or distance. The ground beneath you is not sand, nor stone, but a surface of shifting reflections, like water that holds your weight. The wanderer pauses beside you. Their cloak stirs though there be no wind. "This," they murmur, "is the final mirage." The Djinn call it the breath that dreams. It is the reflection of creation before form, the desert before the first grain of sand fell. You look out. The horizon ripples with shapes that rise and dissolve. Towers, mountains, faces, stars. Each appears only for a heartbeat before fading, replaced by another. It is as if the world is remembering itself moment by moment. The Djinn come here only once, the wanderer says quietly, when they wish to see what lies beyond their own essence. Some return wiser. Some do not return at all. The light shifts as they speak, and you glimpse your own reflection across the mirage, though it is not exactly you. The face shimmers, altering with every breath. Older, younger, laughing, silent. It is memory reshaping itself. The wanderer gestures to it. The mirage shows not who you were, but all you might have been, all the paths your breath could have taken. To walk through it is to walk through every possibility. You hesitate, feeling the strange pull of the scene. Will it show truth? You ask. The wanderer tilts their head. There is no single truth here, only mirrors reflecting mirrors. But if your heart is quiet, you will know which reflection breathes. You step forward. The surface ripples beneath your feet, each step spreading gentle waves of light that fade behind you. The air shimmers, and the reflections grow clearer, no longer fleeting, but vivid, alive. You see visions now? Not fantasy, but the raw weave of memory and dream. Cities burning beneath desert storms. Oceans where deserts once lay. Djinn made of pure flame, standing among mortals as teachers, not rulers. And among these visions, one image repeats. A great flame surrounded by wind, pulsing like a heartbeat in the center of nothingness. The wanderer's voice echoes softly behind you. That is the heart of the Mirage. It holds what remains when all images dissolve, the pure union of breath and fire. The Djinn call it Qalb al-Sir, the heart of secret. You move closer to it. The heat around you increases, though the air remains still. Shapes within the Mirage begin to gather, not of stone or sand, but of memory-given form. The Djinn themselves appear, countless and luminous, their eyes like stars suspended in flame. They do not speak, yet their presence fills the air with understanding. They see you. One steps forward, tall, radiant, its form woven of golden fire edged in blue. When it speaks, its voice carries through the Mirage like a ripple through water. "Traveler," it says, "you have carried the breath of the world and the flame of remembrance through the chambers of our realm. You have seen balance and sorrow and renewal. Do you yet know why the desert called you?" You glance toward the wanderer. Their gaze is steady, but they say nothing. You breathe deeply. The answer comes not as thought, but as feeling. "Because the world forgets," you say slowly. "And I am here to remember for a while, so that it may breathe again." The Djinn inclines its head, light flickering softly. Then you understand. To remember is not to keep, but to let flow. To release what you love into the wind, and to trust it will find its way back. Its flame brightens, and the Mirage around you begins to shift. The countless reflections, mountains, rivers, faces, merge together, folding inward toward the central flame. This is the truth beneath all illusions. It continues. There is no separation. Breath becomes flame, flame becomes wind, memory becomes world. We are not guardians of fire. We are the breath of it. The wanderer steps forward at last, their voice low but resonant. "You have shown them, old flame, what few mortals remember, that the Djinn were never exile nor curse, but the echo of creation's sigh." The Djinn's light ripples in acknowledgement. Then it reaches toward you, not with a hand, but with a wave of heat and air. The contact is gentle, like the touch of sunlight through water. The moment it touches you, the world changes. You feel weightless, not rising, not falling, but expanding. The desert dissolves into light, and within that light you sense everything at once. The hum of the river of echoes, the laughter of the winds, the sigh of the Vale's shadows, the pulse of the bridge of dawn. They are not separate memories. They are one breath, inhaled by the world, exhaled through you. The wanderer's voice drifts through the brilliance. Breathe, traveler. The mirage is showing you not what lies ahead, but what always was. You breathe. The air is fire, and the fire is air. Every heartbeat resounds like a wave moving through eternity. The sense of self melts, yet what replaces it is not emptiness, but vastness, a feeling of belonging, ancient and simple. When the light begins to fade, you find yourself standing once more beside the wanderer. The mirage around you is calm again, its surface still, reflecting the faint hue of dawn. The Djinn are gone. Only a single ember remains where the great flame had burned. Small, steady, eternal. The wanderer looks at it with quiet reverence. This is the gift of the mirage, the final breath before waking. It will not burn you, but it will follow you, even beyond dreams. Keep it not as power, but as remembrance. You kneel, cupping the ember in your hands. Its warmth hums softly against your skin. For an instant, you see within it the reflection of every place you've passed. The gates, the palace, the cavern, the Vale, the bridge, the hall, all woven into one continuous thread of light. You look up at the wanderer. What lies beyond this? Their gaze turns toward the horizon, now glowing faintly with the first true dawn. Beyond this lies return, they say. The journey inward ends where the world begins again. But first, the desert must dream one last time. You rise. The ember's light flickers once, syncing with your heartbeat. The horizon wavers, then begins to open. A path of gold and silver sand leading toward the light. The wanderer steps beside you once more. Their voice softens. Come, traveler. The mirage has spoken. Now let us see what the dawn remembers. And together you walk into the glow, where dream becomes day and silence becomes song. The dawn comes slowly. No sun has yet broken the line of the world, yet the air glows with the color of warmth remembered. The dunes roll smooth and vast in every direction, their edges blurring as though the earth itself drifts between sleep and waking. The sand beneath your feet feels softer than before, alive, responsive, pulsing faintly like the rhythm of a heart. This, says the wanderer softly, is the dreaming desert, the mind of the world made visible. All that the Djinn have seen, All that mortals have imagined gathers here when both realms rest. It is the pause between breaths, the heartbeat between fire and wind. As you walk, the air thickens slightly, filled with fine motes of light drifting like dust in sunlight. Each one glows faintly before fading away. At first they seem random, but when you look closer, you realize each flicker forms an image before it vanishes. A memory, a thought, a dream. You watch one take shape. A caravan crossing an endless sea of dunes, its camels draped in silver cloth. The figures are silent, faces unseen, yet their movement stirs something within you, a recognition deeper than memory. These are the dreams of the Djinn, the wanderer explains. They dream not as mortals do, but as the desert does, through the motion of wind and the shifting of sand. Every grain that stirs carries a vision of what once was, or what might yet be. The light around you deepens, becoming golden at the edges. The dunes begin to move, not collapsing, but breathing. Ridges rise and fall like the slow expansion of lungs, and from each crest flows a gentle wind carrying whispers too faint to separate. You listen. The sound is almost music, 1,000 soft voices murmuring in unison, layered and eternal. The desert speaks when it dreams, murmurs the wanderer. It remembers creation. Every gust of wind is a syllable. Every grain of sand a thought unfinished. If you listen long enough, you may hear your own name among them. You stand still, closing your eyes. The wind moves across your face, gentle as breath. Within the murmurs, you hear faint echoes, laughter, weeping, the sigh of waves, the hum of fire, the call of unseen voices repeating something that feels familiar. You cannot understand the words, but you know them. They are the pulse that has guided you since the gates first opened. When you open your eyes again, the dunes have changed. They now glow from within, light pulsing through them like veins of living flame. And within that glow move figures, tall, slow, shimmering, the Djinn of dream. They are not the same as those you met before. Their forms are softer, fluid, shifting constantly between fire and mist. Some walk upon the dunes, others glide through the air, their bodies dissolving into trails of light. The wanderer bows slightly as they approach. They are the dreamers of the deep sand, they whisper. They weave the visions that sustain both realms, shaping the boundary between what is real and what is remembered. One of the dreamers halts before you. Its eyes gleam like molten glass. When it speaks, the sound enters not through your ears, but directly through your chest, like the vibration of thunder, felt, not heard. Traveler, it says, you have crossed our mirage, walked the halls of stillness, and touched the flame of remembrance. What do you bring to the desert's dream? You glance toward the wanderer, but they say nothing. This answer must be your own. You hold out your hand, revealing the small ember given to you by the final mirage. Its light pulses softly, neither hot nor cold. I bring this, you say quietly. The last breath of what was. The memory of balance. Flame and air joined as one. The dreamer's eyes brighten. Its form expands slightly, flowing around you like warm mist. Then you bring what we have waited for, it murmurs. The desert has dreamed for ages without waking, its breath uneven, its flame fading. The ember will restore its rhythm. The wanderer nods. It is time then. The dreamer gestures toward the heart of the dunes. There, the sands spiral inward like a whirlpool, forming a vast depression glowing with golden light. At its center burns a great hollow flame, vast as a mountain, yet weightless, its fire moving like water in slow waves. The desert's heart, whispers the wanderer, where the world breathes its sleep. You step toward it. The wind stills. Every dreamer bows their head, their bodies dissolving into pure light that drifts toward the hollow flame. The dunes stop moving, frozen mid-breath, waiting. You kneel before the heart, holding the ember between your palms. It hums softly, pulsing in rhythm with the light before you. Place it within, says the wanderer, voice low and reverent. Let remembrance return to dream, and dream to life. You open your hands. The ember floats upward, glowing brighter as it rises. It hovers for a moment above the great flame, then sinks slowly into it. The moment it touches the center, the world exhales. The dunes ripple outward, waves of gold racing across the horizon. The wind surges, not in fury, but release. The sky brightens in response, the faint pre-dawn deepening to true light. The air fills with sound, the layered murmur of every dream the desert ever held, now rising together into harmony. The wanderer shields their eyes briefly, though they smile faintly. It remembers, they whisper. The desert remembers how to breathe. The great flame steadies, its motion slowing to a calm pulse. Inhale, Exhale. Warmth. Silence. The dreamers reform from the scattered light, their eyes glowing brighter, their shapes clearer. They bow deeply, their voices united in one soft resonance. The cycle is restored. The breath returns to flame, they say. The flame returns to breath. The dream continues. Then they fade, dissolving into the air like mist under sunlight. The dunes still shimmer faintly, but the movement has slowed. Peaceful now, resting once more. The wanderer looks to you, expression serene. It is done. You have given the desert its voice again, not through command, but through remembrance. You glance at your empty hands. The ember is gone, yet its warmth remains within your chest, steady and quiet. What happens now? You ask softly. The wanderer turns toward the horizon, where the sun is finally rising. Vast, golden, immense. Its light pours across the sands, transforming every grain into fire. Now, they say, the desert awakens. And with it, you must begin your return. You watch the horizon, the world expanding with light. The dunes stretch endlessly before you, yet they no longer feel vast. You know their breath now, the rhythm that links all things, Djinn and mortal alike. The wanderer steps forward, cloak rippling in the newborn wind. Come, traveler, they whisper, their voice carrying the calm of eternity. The dawn has found us once more. Let us walk it home. And together, you begin the slow ascent through the golden dunes, the dreaming desert exhaling softly behind you, awake and alive. The sun rises slow and immense behind you, gilding every dune in molten light. The air hums with warmth, alive with the memory of all that is past. The world no longer feels vast or empty. It feels complete, as though every grain of sand knows its place in the great rhythm of being. The wanderer's cloak catches the dawn, scattering threads of gold and crimson across the dunes. You have seen the desert dream, they say quietly. Now you must see it wake. For no journey ends without return, and no dream endures unless shared. You walk together toward the far horizon, where the air shimmers faintly. The sand beneath your feet has grown firm, no longer shifting as before. It feels solid, real, the border between realms made whole again. As the heat of morning deepens, faint shapes begin to appear ahead. Towers of stone and smoke, half hidden by the waves of light. The wanderer's gaze follows them. The gates, they murmur. They open for you once more. The sight stirs a quiet ache within you. You remember the first time you saw them. The vast arch of fire and mist that marked your passage from the world of men into the realm of the Djinn. Then, they had been mysterious, unknowable. Now they seem familiar, like an old song heard again after many years. The walk is long, but not difficult. The desert's wind moves with you, no longer opposing, but guiding. A soft current beneath your every step. Along the way, the dunes whisper faintly, not in sorrow, but in gratitude. You recognize the voices of places you've walked. The river of echoes, the palace of memory, the cavern of winds, the Vale, the bridge, the hall. Their tones blend together, forming one continuous breath that rises and falls with your own. They remember you, says the wanderer. Each place you passed left its echo within you. And now, as you return, your breath carries theirs. The light around you brightens as the gates draw nearer. Their pillars rise from the sand like mountains of flame, each one carved with patterns that flow and change like the surface of water. Between them shimmers the same golden mist that first welcomed you, but now it pulses with a steady rhythm, the living heartbeat of the desert itself. The wanderer stops before the threshold. For the first time, you sense something in their expression, not distance, but peace. We have come full circle, they say softly. What was sleeping now breathes again. The Djinn will remember this dawn, and so will the wind. You gaze upon the gates. The air hums faintly, familiar, yet transformed. The sand around your feet glows with the same light as the ember that once rested in your hand, the same warmth that still hums within your chest. The wanderer turns to you. Before you cross, there's one more truth to know. The Djinn are not gone, traveler. They live wherever breath meets flame, in every whisper of wind through the dunes, in every spark struck from stone, in every heartbeat that remembers the rhythm of the world. When mortals speak with wonder, they speak with us. You nod, the truth of it resonating like sound through still air. And you? You ask quietly. What becomes of you now, wanderer? They smile faintly, the expression both kind and endless. I return to the breath between journeys. I am neither gatekeeper nor God, only the echo that leads travelers through memory. When the world forgets again, I will walk once more. Their form flickers softly in the growing light, edges blurring like sand in the wind. But know this, you carry the desert now. Every calm breath, every quiet thought, every spark of awe you feel, that is the land of the Djinn within you. It will never fade. The gates begin to open, their motion silent, smooth as dawn unfolding. Light spills outward, not blinding, but warm and steady. Beyond it, you see the first hints of your own world returning. Sky, horizon, distant hills painted by morning. The wanderer steps back, their figure half in shadow, half in flame. This is where I leave you, they say. You have walked the long breath, from memory to mirage, from shadow to dawn. You have given the desert its voice again, and in return, it has given you silence that speaks. You hesitate, feeling the pull of both worlds, the still, luminous realm behind and the waking world before. Will I remember? You ask softly. The wanderer's voice is calm, certain. Not as story, but as rhythm. You will feel it in the quiet moments, in the hush before a storm, in the whisper of wind across stone, in the warmth of light after darkness. That is how the desert remembers. Through you, a pause stretches between you, filled with the hum of the living sand. The wanderer lifts a hand, placing it briefly upon your shoulder. The touch is light, but it carries all the weight of what has been learned, seen, and felt. Go now, traveler, they whisper. Carry the flame of remembrance into the waking world. And when you breathe, know that the desert breathes with you. You step toward the light. The gates flare brighter, the air trembling softly around you. For a moment, you turn back, but the wanderer is already fading, their form dissolving into the glow, their voice echoing faintly like the tale of a dream. Come, traveler, it whispers one last time. The waking world awaits. The light envelops you, warm and endless. The scent of sand and spice fades, replaced by the cool air of morning. You feel the ground beneath your feet, solid earth, familiar once more. The sky above is blue, the sun risen, the horizon calm. And yet, somewhere within that stillness, you can still hear it. The faint hum of the desert breathing, slow and eternal, in rhythm with your own. You close your eyes for a moment, the warmth of the light still resting on your skin. In the silence that follows, you feel both worlds, dream and waking, merge into one quiet heartbeat. The journey is complete. The breath continues. Come, traveler. The gates of the waking world await. The desert has stilled. The winds rest. The dream lies quiet once more. You have crossed through memory and shadow, through wind and flame, and now the horizon folds gently around you, like the closing of an ancient book. The dawn that once seemed distant now burns softly behind your eyes, a calm and endless light. The wanderer's voice returns, distant, almost part of the air itself. Traveler, they whisper, the land of the Djinn does not end where the sands do. It breathes wherever silence deepens. Every quiet between heartbeats, every pause between words, that is the desert remembering itself. You breathe, and the memory of it comes easily. The feel of hot wind brushing your skin, the hum beneath your feet, the scent of spice and smoke rising from invisible fires. It is all still there, waiting beneath the surface of waking life. The Djinn are not gone. The wanderer continues. They linger at the edges of the world, in the shimmer of heat above stone, in the sigh of wind before dusk, in the flame that flickers without fuel. They are the breath that watches, the dream that listens. The rhythm of their words slows, like a tide receding. The ember you carried still burns within you. It will not fade, for it was never flame alone. It is remembrance, quiet, balanced, patient. It will warm you in solitude, whisper to you in silence, guide you when the path ahead grows dim. You close your eyes and the golden sands return for an instant. Calm, infinite, serene. You feel their pulse beneath you, steady as the beat of your heart. The desert exhales, and you with it. The wanderer's tone softens further, now no more than a murmur against the edge of sleep. Rest now, traveler. The gates are closed, but they are never locked. When you dream again, the desert will stir. The wind will remember your step, the flame, your breath. For journeys such as these do not end. They fold into the rhythm of life itself. The silence deepens around you. Your body feels light, the last warmth of the journey settling into your chest. The wind that once roared now drifts as a single breath, cool and gentle, carrying the faintest echo of voices long gone yet near. "Listen," says the wanderer, their voice distant now, half within the stars. That sound, the low hum beneath all things, that is the desert sleeping. It dreams not of endings, but of return. One day when the world forgets again, it will wake and call you back through the gates of flame and breath. A pause, long, soothing, complete. Then softly, when the stars awaken again, I will return. And together, we shall wander once more. Until the next tale, wanderer, sleep well.